Greetings Commanders, I'm Arthur, and with Update 7 almost here, today we're going to tell you more about the changes coming to Odyssey's conflict zones. Since Odyssey launched, many of you have been hastily signing up with Frontline Solutions and dropping in to fight for your chosen faction. These conflict zones have seen the sphere of combat collide, the results of which contributing to the endless struggle for territory in the BGS. In Update 7, we will rebalance these zones to create a more connected gameplay experience between those on the ground and those pilots above them. The biggest of these changes will be that conflict zones now feature anti-aircraft turrets, ready to engage any commanders who choose to enter in their ships, bringing protection for dropships and their tide-turning reinforcements. These turrets are deadly, making a one-on-one assault from the air a high-risk encounter. However, pilots can work together with commanders on the ground to temporarily disable the turrets by overloading their control systems. If this wasn't enough to make joining an Odyssey conflict zone in your ship an exciting prospect, we'll also be introducing AI combat ships into the mix, ready for commanders to experience the thrill of dogfighting in atmosphere as the battle rages below. And that's a wrap. Head over to the Elite Dangerous forums to find out more about the upcoming update. And as ever, please share your Odyssey experiences and discoveries with us and let us know what you think down in the comments below.
Greetings, Commanders, and welcome on in to our development update breakdown stream. Is what I've decided to title this one. I don't know what we usually title these, but that's what I went for. I hope it works.
It's quite a mouthful, Zach. It's a lot of words.
It is. Welcome on in, everybody. How are you all doing? I'm Zach, one of the community managers here on Elite Dangerous. I'm also joined by lead community manager Arthur. How are you doing, Arthur, today? Busy day.
I'm good. It's been a busy day today. A lot of stuff going on. It's been a busy few weeks, to be fair, for the team and I. So it's good to be here. Thanks for having me on board, Zach. Thanks for driving. So we can expect a flawless stream.
Of course, as always.
I'm not in charge of anything, so things should play. I'm good. Thank you very much. 07s to the chat. So Rob Maynard, Girl Scout 88, the Virgin 01, XT80, Wicked Willie, Skull Power, Bunny Claw, Nick Lambert, Zulu Romeo, Cable Physics is Arthur Younger. I'll take that. Commander Rini, hey, Zulu 90, Urban Sparex, Art from the Start 07, thank you very much. Prince Sylvian, thought it's flying by now, so thank you. That's Twitch. Anyone from YouTube there, Zach?
Sure, we've got Dunkalora 07, High Beyond 07, we've got Ben 07, Alan, hello, Fortini, hello, Bromapat, hello, lots of people.
Hello, yes, welcome. So it's we've got a few bits to go through today, Zach. What's the itinerary?
Sure. So the itinerary is, first things first, we're obviously going to spend, I would say, probably the bulk or the main portion of this stream on the developer update. So we're just going to go through it. And just have a bit of a chat really with you and sure. talk through it. Once we've done that, we're then going to move on to our community highlights like usual, some stellar screenshots, and then if we've got time, but I think it's unlikely, then we'll hop into the game and play CQC or something. But I think that may be unlikely today. But that's the plan.
Sounds lovely. I will do my best to give what information I can and not get myself in trouble. That's the rules I must keep.
The usual
rules. Yeah, you can't see, but just off camera, there's someone with a cattle prod. If I get too close to saying something I shouldn't, then I'll be electrocuted. So I'm just gonna stay on task. But hello, right. I'm ready to go. Sorry. And right. Yes, chat. It's just orange. It's just orange juice.
Just orange juice today. What I'm gonna do, because I forgot to make a command, I'm just gonna post the developer update in the chat right now. The link to that.
You forgot to make a command.
Yeah, but I can do it now.
Get out, Zach.
I can do it now if you want.
Yeah, do it now. Do it live. Do it live on stream.
I'll do it now. If you wanna keep everyone entertained, while I do this.
I could sing a song. You don't know that. So basically, what Zach is going to do flawlessly and seamlessly, whilst I slowly fill for time, is he will be making an exclamation mark command for the Twitch chat. Then once you place this command in the Twitch chat, it will take you straight to the forum and the development update. Is that not correct, Zach?
That is word for word, a perfect description of what I'm doing now.
And Zach, would you like to tell me, because I'm very eager to know, what would be that word they'd have to put exclamation mark?
It will be exclamation mark dev update.
Dev update. There we go. And is that ready now, Zach?
It's ready in about 5 seconds.
5 seconds. Well, I was just about to burst into song, but sadly, I cannot. Only 5 seconds is not enough. I wouldn't even be able to play in my intro, but we're ready. So exclamation mark dev update will give you our latest update, which went live at 3:30 today. So that should be in the chat now. So there we go. If it's not working, let me know,
give it a minute.
and I will deploy hot coals to Zach's feet.
He'll get there. Just give us like 1 minute, chat, and I'm sure they'll catch up. Moobot
Yeah.
is not usually. Moobot usually calms down because they, obviously expects us to do all this beforehand. So when the stream actually starts, it doesn't expect us to be doing these updates. So give it time. I see everyone is now spamming dev update, which is pretty. I should have expected as much, to be fair. Looks like it's working. Moobot is working.
Okay, good.
Nice.
Good.
Okay.
All right.
Should we get started then, Alf?
Let's get cracking.
So I guess I recommend, chat, to bring it up alongside on you if you've got two screens, or maybe have us in one half of the screen and the forum post on the other while we go through it. So we're just going to go through it pretty much as it is displayed here. I guess I'll sort of read them out, and then if you have anything...
Yeah, I can add some more flavour or stuff to it, or sort of, if I can do without getting in trouble. Cattle prod, but I will do my very best to add some more flavour to it. But yes, by all means, let's go.
Right. So first things first, we want to talk about things that are obviously in the issue tracker. As always, thank you for your continued support and your votes on the issue tracker. It's very useful. We will have another one of those report tables coming up in, I think, a week or two is the schedule.
I think it's 2 weeks. I'm not sure. I think it's 2 weeks. I think it's a case of we're trying to make it. Obviously, it takes time to repro the bugs and all this sort of stuff. And sometimes we reach out to communities to get help, which we're not shy in doing, and certainly I'm not shy in asking for help. So we want to make the update sort of not meaningful, but just so we've got some stuff to say. Yeah. If we just updated it every week, it'd be like, it's the same table we showed you last week. It wasn't that fun. And you're like, no, it wasn't. So
right. So first thing on here, Arf, is lighting and illumination in Odyssey. So this one we have obviously made a lot of changes to since the launch of Odyssey. Relighting things like cockpits, materials, starlight, and station exteriors, just to name a few. Based on your feedback and the changes that we've made, we are actually going to make some more changes to fleet carriers and exterior station lighting, which will be deployed in Update 7. And we do know that you still have things that you want to bring up to do with lighting. So what the plan is we're going to close the big issue that is at the top of the tracker, because we believe that the general issue now is fixed. And the problem with that big issue is that it's too general to help us fix the smaller issues that are still present. So what we're going to do is close that issue, which will free up your votes. And then if you do feel like you want to create or vote on a smaller lighting issue, obviously you're free to do so. But that is why we have decided to close that one off.
Yeah, it's not an awful lot I can add to that. Zach, you quite eloquently said why sort of what that issue is all about. But yes, essentially it's a case of just that general topic of lighting and illumination is very broad, and for our dev teams to unpick stuff like that, there's a lot of stuff they have to. It loses the nuance with such a broad stroke thing. But a lot of stuff has gone into the game. A lot of stuff has been adjusted in Update 7, so we should find that we've hit the right balance. I know people are still unhappy about the fleet carrier lighting. We've seen some screenshots which look a lot better in our opinion. So I think when they go in, players will be very, very happy with that. But again, you might find that there's something we've missed, or there's something that isn't quite right. And if so, we can have it then laser focus on those particular areas. It makes it a lot easier for us to fix stuff moving forward. So hence the reason we're going to close that one, free up some votes to put into other areas that we can have a look at.
Yeah. I saw somebody say that they believe there are still a number of paint jobs that still aren't quite what they should be. That is something we're still working on and aware of, so don't worry about that. We've not left those alone for sure. Okay, number 2, Arf. Degraded terrain textures compared to Horizons. So we have, as the same as Update 1, really, we've been monitoring your feedback on this. We are satisfied that this issue is now largely resolved, so we will be marking this one as fixed with the final changes that are due to arrive in the next update. But same thing, like if you still have issues,
Yeah, I don't want to waste too much time going over what I just said, but yeah, exactly that. Like, we think we've got it in a really good spot for this. Again, once Update 7 goes out, if they have specifics and we have the information that can provide us, we can pass that on and Dev can take a look at it. But essentially, this degraded textures should be remedied.
Yep. Okay, number 3, FPS performance in Odyssey. So, as always, with every update, we've made more improvements for this. That's including optimization to things like nav mesh, the lighting system, terrain, NPCs, glass shaders, and the scatter rock LODs. So, whilst these things will be coming, in the next update, our core code team are still making good progress on some more substantial optimizations that are going to, take a bit longer, probably update 8.
Yeah, I mean, look, we're well aware that optimization is the key thing on everyone's mind at the moment, and we are making big strides towards doing this. But obviously, it comes incrementally. There's some bits going in 7, which should see a boost. We'll see a boost for a lot of players, but update 8, we should start seeing some real big strides taken. That's the plan. That's what we're hoping for. So, fingers crossed. And someone's going to ask me, the next question will be, when is update 8? Don't have that information for you. It comes after update 7, which will be within the next 2 weeks. So after that is 8.
Yeah.
That's all I can tell you at the moment.
Right. Number 4, nothing to do on long shuttle rides. So update 7 will provide the opportunity. We've got some screenshots actually later for the Apex shuttle redirect. So this will avoid you being strapped into a long journey that you don't want to be on. So we will be marking this as fixed with update 7, so you can contribute to other things. But that is still something that I'm kind of keen to keep an eye on. It's sort of some interesting stuff we could do in the middle of a taxi journey.
I am. I'll be totally honest. I see Apex for what it is. I think with the option to redirect, I don't see it as an issue anymore. If you take a long journey and you don't want to spend that much time on a shuttle, you can redirect it.
Yep.
In terms of, is it a bug? I wouldn't necessarily say it's a bug. It's something we'd be keen to take input on in terms of a feature, like how could we improve that said features. But I wouldn't necessarily say it's something that's not working. Certainly now with the redirecting. So I think that will alleviate a lot of people's concerns of Apex being able to just redirect it or move on to a different system or go back.
Yeah.
I think it didn't help, and I'll be totally honest, I think it didn't help that when we launched the alpha, obviously there was no player ships, everyone had to take Apex. We were in a massive star system. I can't remember the name of it now. I should do.
Yeah, I can't remember.
And a lot of the missions were the other end of the star systems. You're looking at like a 15, 16-minute ride there and back again. And that was before we'd made the changes to when you died, all your missions were lost, etc., etc. So it's kind of really compounded the Apex stuff. So I think we've come a long way with it. Is it where it needs to be? I don't know is the honest answer for that. We can have a look at that going forwards and see if there's other bits of us we can add in. But do we think it's actually a broken thing? It's not working correctly? I don't think so. So I think it's fair that we should close this, free up the folks to go somewhere where I think they need to go. But it's certainly something we will continue to take feedback on and listen to and say, like, what else could we do to make these journeys, if you do want to take a long journey, more enjoyable?
Yep. Okay, number 5. This one is a.
If you know, you know, right?
Yeah. So the good old invincible Thargoid heart, which I believe may have been an issue for potentially a number of years.
Ever.
Yeah, forever. So we believe we've identified a cause for this, and the fix will be going in update 7. But what we will be doing is leaving that open just for now, just so that obviously you can go in and try it out, and we can just confirm that it is working as intended. But the Thargoid heart should no longer be invincible, so yeah, thank you everyone for helping us resolve that. It was very useful.
Yeah, big shout out to the AXI community for the support on this one. I know it's been a bane for a while. This is one of those things where we're not just looking at issues that have been plaguing Odyssey, but we're also looking at some of the historic issues. And the team are very keen to fix a lot of the ones that have been hanging around for too long. We're aware of that, and we're trying to fix it. So we're not patting ourselves on the back. We're actually just saying thank you very much for your patience. The reason why we're leaving this open, it was quite a tricky one. We believe it's linked to sort of when wings of players are international, so players from different countries are playing. That was what was causing it. We think we've solved it. I believe, I'm not speaking out of turn, when we tested it and we were like, yeah, we found the problem. We think we remedied it. But obviously, players are our best litmus test. So after this goes in, we would appreciate any feedback on this to make sure it is working as intended. But the Thargoid Invincible Heart should be hopefully a thing of the past. And so, yeah, that's good news.
Yeah, indeed. Number 6, frame rate drops post update 5. So this one with update 7 will include changes to the game's nav mesh, which we believe resolves the specific issue that was happening post update 5. So this specific thing with performance will be marking as fixed, but obviously, like we said earlier, we'll continue to look at performance anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I should probably add nothing to that. That's perfect.
No worries. Right, so now we've got a list of smaller things. I'm just going to read them out. I don't think, unless there's something here after you interrupt me as I go. So these things are going to be fixed in update 7. So we've got NHSS signals in Odyssey are empty. That's going to be fixed. Fleet carrier and module cost not included in overall wealth. Support missions are not widely available. Missions and rewards are not shared with the team. A previously present codex entry is now missing. Stolen tritium cannot be donated into a fleet carrier's fuel depot. Too much CC returned when systems revolt. Mission reward material missing. Deposit fragments stuck inside the rocks. Unable to interact with comms panel in the headlock. Some rock scatter only visual in the right eye in VR. Seeker and Packhound missiles do double damage against shields. Choosing the plus influence reward from missions didn't give you any influence. And CZ Captain Defense incorrectly rewards credit bonds for the enemy faction. So all those things will be fixed in update 7.
Yes.
Okay.
It's a lot of things.
That's a lot. And that's,
in fact, and that's not
scratching the surface.
I mean, we know that Sally will be doing the patch notes, so
yeah.
F in the chat for Sally when she does that, because there's going to be a lot of patch notes. But these are just some of the things that are listed in there. So please don't think this is comprehensive. This is just, again, with all these event updates, it's a snapshot of what we're doing, some big ticket items.
Yep.
There's always more.
Right. So next bit of news, which I think is very important. Do you want to talk a bit about what's going to be happening with these changes and horizons and stuff like that?
Sure. Now, look, we've said before that whilst we understand we're focusing on getting Odyssey right, and as such, the console development of Odyssey is on hold whilst we get Odyssey in the place it needs to be. One of the things that we hear loud and clear is people asking about some of the fixes that we see are being deployed and aren't going to players on console and Horizons players. Now, the team are hard at work putting together an update for you guys and girls. So this will be going in September as well. So a lot of the quality of life improvements will go in there. We're working on a list. Once we have that list that's comprehensive, that will also go in, and you'll see some of the changes that you're seeing that have got, not just in this update, but updates prior to this as well. So we're not just looking at update 7 stuff, that 65432 and prior. We'll go into an update in for consoles. So once we have that list, of course, we'll post it. We're not forgetting about you. Obviously, we're trying to do this in stages, but you will definitely get an update in September as well. So there we go. Yep.
Right. So that's all the talk about issues that we're addressing now. It's time to move on to some of the exciting stuff, some of the good stuff. So I'll move over to our content screen. And what we're gonna do, Arf, is we're gonna start.
So somebody's asking update 7 is going to be as slick as my head. I don't. Let's hope so.
That's a compliment, right?
I mean, it is. I mean, I haven't shaved my head today. It's got a bit of a bristle on it. You can't. The camera doesn't show that.
No, you can't tell. No. Okay. So, conflict zone, anti-air defense, and dogfighting now. So I'll play the video in the background again, but we can talk about this because you, I believe, Arf, have experienced this, right?
I've had some experience of it. Yes,
some experience.
I was asked to help go in and capture some of the footage. So I spent a few days playing around with the turrets that are in there. So these turrets will basically be at conflict zones when you arrive. Oh wait, I'm about 7 seconds behind chat, so apologies because I'm trying to go through. Now that's a crate, I believe. I think it was one of that. It was Luke in a crate flying around. We had a lot of fun actually. One of the things I didn't realise they'd added in whilst we were doing the capture was the enforcer units, which we'll talk about in a moment. And they're really fun because you see them sort of as dropships come in, they're sort of firing rockets up at them, and it just adds this whole new, makes it more visceral. The conflict zone also doesn't help when they blow you up when you're trying to capture some footage, which isn't great. But so yes, so the idea behind these turrets, so that's actually not the turret in particular. You'll see it in the next shot, I believe. So that in the background, you see it, that sort of yellow turret in the background.
Yeah, it's the yellow turret.
That is sort of standalone anti-aircraft or anti-ship turrets, and they're quite powerful, quite meaty. And they have a shield, which you can see there. And you can spend time trying to disable the shield on the ground, or you can run up there, cut the panel. Panel is cut, panel is down, override the systems and expose them to taking damage, and they can then be destroyed. So it kind of links in. If you're just a ship flying around attacking, you will get shot down pretty quick. If you're not in a heavily engineered ship, certainly some of the smaller ships I've seen flying underneath. Dropships are targeted immediately and destroyed when they're hitting commanders and reinforcements dropping in, and they will attack you as soon as you attack any part of the units on the ground or the dropships themselves, or the turrets. They will immediately turn and they will attack you. And if you're the only ship doing that, all 3 turrets will turn and attack you, and they are pretty beastie. I'm not going to say that we've got it absolutely spot on. Because I did see a build where they annihilated every ship for like 2 shots, which was a bit too much. So that they've been brought down. We think we got it right, but again, we may tweak them going forwards, but they are pretty decent. And then obviously the enforcer troops on the ground, they will pick out SRVs. If you're driving in an SRV, they will single you out and pepper you. And they're not certainly in the conflict zones that we were playing in. They're not shy. It's not they have a limited run of rocket troops. There are a few of them. They're not just like one or two. So it's pretty cool. It's all good, and it's nice to see AI ships in atmosphere, sort of doing their own thing as well. It just brings the whole thing together.
Yeah.
So it's quite nice.
Molchad has an important question. No, it's not actually this time.
Okay.
Are the anti-aircraft turrets affected by the base power? So I believe they're not, because the conflict zones are offline by default, right?
Yeah, so it's they've been deployed separately. That's why you'll know if you look at them, they're designed such a way so it looks like they've been deployed themselves as separate entities and units, which is why they get their own panels you can cut and interact with. So you can liaise with commanders on the ground and be like, look, disable the turrets that come in, and then carpet bomb as you see fit. Once they're down and destroyed, have at it. But it won't just be a case of being able to flying in carpet bomb at will.
Yeah. Okay. So as you briefly mentioned, there's also the enforcer units that are coming in. So yeah, it's going to make a big difference to conflict zones and make them feel a lot more visceral. Is a great word, Arf. I mean, that is probably the best way to describe it from what I've seen.
I have good words. Every now and again, my England is good and my worms are accurate. But it was it's great to look up and actually there's a shot there where you can see me looking up, and that's actually my footage. You can see me looking at the Anaconda and stuff fighting in orbit. It was just cool to watch. And I think we were only playing in a I think it was like it might have even been a low or a medium. I think it was a medium conflict. It wasn't a high.
Mm-hmm.
But you can definitely see how these will pan out with commanders going in SRVs, and certainly in the more challenging arenas or conflict zones. Sorry, how this will pan out. But yeah, I think they're a medium zone.
Yep, nice. Okay then. So that is the changes that are coming to conflict zones. Next up, we want to talk a bit about the new social hub styles. So I do have some pictures for this. Let me start putting one of them on. So this, for example, is an agricultural style station. That's how you pronounce it, right? Agricultural.
So it's going to. Someone's asked a question saying confused by the notes. Am I correct? Some FPS optimization fixes are coming in 7 and some coming in 8. Yes, that's correct. So some are coming in 7. We're expecting some bigger ones in 8.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
No, that's all right. Right. So social hubs. So they are going to be becoming more varied in the way that they present. So you'll be seeing things like different railings, different crates, planters, and other different props depending on the type of station it is. There'll be different partitions, wall pieces, swapping beams, roof sections, more pipes. Or if you're in an industrial station, it will look more industrial. I've got some more images. I'll roll through them up if you have anything else.
No, I think it's it's just more of an immediate visual stimuli to say, look, I know where I'm at. I know what sort of station is. Once I've landed, it should be apparent just by its general appearance, colorization, and the stuff you find laying on the floor should indicate whether or not it's industrial, high tech, tourist, etc., etc. But it's just a nice a bit of variance to add in.
Yeah.
And it's just nice they've done this, because I think it will make for screenshots being more interesting as well.
It will.
So that's cool.
As I've rolled through these, the rich one is really nice. The red, I really like that look.
I like the white and red one. Have you shown it yet?
I believe this is the one. You might come back.
It's not.
Come back to it.
The one on the forum post. It's not.
This one. Yeah, it's the rich station. It's very nice.
Oh yeah, I'm 7 seconds behind you.
Yeah, you'll get to it.
That's the one. That's the one I like.
Yeah, and obviously we've got the industrial, the high tech. I like the asteroid one because it kind of matches the color scheme that you would get in an asteroid station, sort of yellowy orange hue, which is very nice. But yeah, as I've said, they'll also, so for example, a wealthy service and high tech station will have less rubbish and junk on the floor. Obviously, if you go to an industrial station, then it'll become progressively more untidy depending on the type of station, which is a nice little touch, because I noticed there's a lot of rubbish around these stations. So it's good that somebody's finally cleaning them up in these higher places, I would say.
Someone's like, Arthur, make sure to enable low latency in the Twitch player. I don't know what any of that means, because I know But I will. I'm assuming it means that I'll have less of a delay. But
Yeah.
thank you. I should probably do that. Okay.
Amanda Crank Larson says, "Why is the rubbish not floating?" I believe it's just there's some kind of gravity work in play at the stations. There's probably
Yeah.
actually someone has got an answer to that somewhere in the dev team.
I look, to be fair, I understand it. Look, I know everyone wants the immersion and stuff like that, but if we want to sit down and have 1,000 items floating around a station, I'm sure that won't affect performance whatsoever. We can just add them all in as 3D objects to just move around and stuff. But I do get it. I understand it, but there's a point where we have to say, look, there's we're worried about what's really important at the moment and not floating rubbish. But I understand that some people would love to see that, and I'm not taking away. I do get the immersion part of it, but it's probably not going to be something that's high on a priority list just at the moment in time.
Yep. Right, so next up, Arth, we're just going to quickly brush over the Apex Redirect, which is a pretty cool feature, to be fair. So if you missed it when we talked about this on a stream a couple of weeks ago, or you've not seen the dev update yet, so basically what's going to be happening is if you get into your Apex and you realize, oh no, I've set myself to be going somewhere I don't want to be going to, you can head over to the Apex panel on your left-hand side, and you can either choose a local redirect or a long-range redirect. And it's pretty much as it says on the tin. So you'll head to the galaxy map if you choose long range. You'll choose your next system you actually want to go to. And then obviously you just choose it when you're in the system map. Just click the redirect shuttle button. It's worth noting that you can't go further than initially. There's a range. So from where you set off at the start, you're still going to be within that range. So you can't just keep hopping from station to station with the redirect. You'll still be limited to the range that the ship was initially in when it first set off. But that is Apex Redirect.
Yeah, I'm not going to say an awful lot about this. I think you Bruce and yourself covered this in your previous stream. Sort of went through this, so I don't want to go over it. But essentially, if you're in a taxi and it's going the wrong way, you can redirect it.
Yep.
It is very much Ronsil does what it says in the tin. But not to take away from the amount of work that goes into making that happen. So the UI team, etc. Big thanks to those guys for consistently listening to feedback and helping implement changes to the game visually.
Yeah.
Because mechanically is one thing, but to have a usable UI that can do that is another. So thank you for everyone doing that sort of stuff.
Okay, next up, increased stored modules and bookmarks. Another one we mentioned last week, but they will the limit will now be moving up to 200 for both of those, which we know that you asked about. And the reason for that limit at 200 is because of server constraints. So we've pushed as much as we can push with that, and 200 is what we've been able to max it out at, right off.
Yes, correct. I've nothing else to add.
Nice.
Shall I go home, Zach? I'll go home. I am home, but you know what I mean. I'll go to the other room.
Okay. AMD Fidelity FX. Is it CAS or CAS? Chat.
I mean, it's you say tomato, I say tomato. It's whatever you want, really.
Either way, it's going to be back in Update 7. We know, obviously, that some players had good use out of that. Some players had good use out of other things. So we're just going to add that back in so you have more of a selection, more of a choice in terms of your settings.
I won't pretend to add anything to this because if you know me, I don't understand any of that stuff. I just know what it's been asked for and it's in. But don't ask me too many details about it. I'm not going to sit here and lie to your chat and be like, oh, well, this is what it does and this is why we do it. I don't know. I do not know. So it's in there. I think it's a good thing.
Yep. Stormy UK says, is the limit getting applied to Horizons and console in terms of the module and bookmark? So that's on our list of things that we would like to get into the update for consoles. I can't confirm that right now, but it is on the list of things that we would like to do.
We're having a look at all the things. It's a big discussion, so bear with us on that. We'll get together some notes and stuff for you as soon as we can, and we'll get it out. We are aware that it's things that players want, so bear with us.
Yep. Okay, next up, we've got these really awesome Horizons cosmetics in Odyssey. So the team are working very hard to overhaul basically the entire way that these cosmetics work in order to make them functional with Odyssey and the Odyssey, EVA stuff. So we're still working on that. It's still a little while out, but here are some examples of the sort of thing you can expect with the getting your cosmetics back from Horizons into Odyssey.
Yeah, I can't wait for this to be deployed. I think just the sheer amount of combinations will be amazing. I said this as soon as I saw the screenshot, I was like, the second one, I get huge aliens vibes
Yeah,
from, like
100%.
massive aliens vibes from, and I was like, I can't wait to see like just adding that variety to the commanders that are playing the game and allowing them to use the cosmetics, which we're aware that it's a big one and something we're trying to deliver as fast as we can. So yes, bear with us, little way to go yet, but we are making some good progress. I think the screenshots show that, so I can't wait to see some of this sort of stuff. And yes, so it's great for role playing, all that sort of jazz. And I always try and make my commander look the part. So I think you said it when you saw my you look like a bounty hunter, and I was like, yeah,
Yeah,
it's the
that's the
look I was going for. But very much a bounty hunter that's all mouth, no trousers. I dressed I dressed the part, but I'm not that great. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing these come in. I think we can all agree these are great.
Yeah. Okay, next up, it's a long list of things that are coming. We've got a 4-player multi-crew, which we are still, making good progress on. Here's an example of one of the ships, what the bridge looks like with that 4th player on the back. I believe it's the back left we've made the addition.
It is.
Yeah, nice. I've also got a
But
picture
again,
from their point of view. There you go.
just to be clear, this is all work in progress stuff, right? So please don't look at all this stuff and be like, oh, this is absolutely final. It may very, very well turn out to be this is where the placement is, but this is just to give you an idea. They're testing stuff; it's working at the moment. So there's some other bits to go. So this may not be where the seat ends up being, but essentially, we're making progress and showing technically it's working, so we can get these seats in. So it's something we know has been asked for. And just to be clear, it will be coming to a number of ships. It won't be coming to every ship. So there will be 4 players in not
where it
every
makes
ship.
sense.
Where it makes sense, yeah.
Right. Next up, we are working on new Odyssey engineers in Colonia, which we are aware was a pretty big request from our community over in Colonia. That they wanted, a set of engineers so that they could do the Odyssey stuff over there without having to travel back to the bubble, which is a completely fair comment. So this is Rosa Diet, I believe.
We had this conversation before, didn't we? We were like, is it diet or diet? We're going with diet because it sounds like we're smarter. I'll go with smarter, yeah.
And Rosa's one of the new engineers you'll see in Colonia. If you want to actually see a bit of a backstory, you can do if you head over to the forum post, ! Dev update. She's got a pretty interesting backstory that you might want to read up on if you're interested in the lore. But yeah, we'll be working on obviously more than just Rosa, but engineers will be coming to Colonia. Okay, next up, as we work our way through, we're pretty close to the end now. Mission feature extensions. So we're aware that you would like a stronger link between, the in-cockpit gameplay and the on-foot gameplay. We are still working on that. We are still working on expanding the missions to do that, and we'll have more to share soon on that. I don't know if you have any.
Yeah, look, it is pretty much what you just said there, Zach. There's a lot of ideas being floated around here, chat. So we don't want to overpromise stuff, but there's a lot of cool ideas that are being concepted. They need to be fundamentally proved out to see if they actually work, or we can do them. Hence the reason why this just reads as it reads at the moment. But we're just leaving in here because we are well aware of the focus that we want to have in there. So we are going to be doing sort of mission feature extensions going forward. What they look like when we have the details, we'll give them in more context. But it's just to say, look, we're not just leaving missions as they are. We're looking at addressing them as and how we go forward. There's a lot of stuff being concepted to see what we can push, doesn't break. And then once we have those, we'll start sharing some of that stuff. And again, remember, right at the top of this post, it does say this is not by any means a comprehensive list of everything that's being worked on. There's other cool stuff being worked on that is just in different stages yet, and we're seeing if it works, how it's gonna to come through in the end. This is just stuff we can share with you. We actually have some information on, and we can say, look, hey, we'll give you a bit now. And as the months go on and as the updates come out, we'll keep doing what we're doing now. At the end of every month, we say, like, here's what's coming in the next update. Here's what we've got coming in the future updates, or progression of some of the stuff we've spoken about. And here's another little thing we've got that we pushed through from beyond concept stage to, like, we think we can make this work, and hopefully it'll work. But again, as we've said at the start, like, I'm not adverse to giving bad news. I think bad news is better than no news. If for whatever reason one of these things falls off and says, look, we just can't do it, then I'll tell you. So some of these things may end up never happening, but we're happy to, at this point, to say, look, we think we can get it, so we're gonna talk to you about it. So there we are.
And last but not least on this mega post is Megaship social spaces. So we are now working on bringing social spaces to megaships, and this will obviously allow us to to position a base for on-foot services such as Vista Genomics and Pioneer Supplies anywhere in the galaxy. So Arthur, a lot of people in the chat are asking if this also applies to fleet carriers. So what's the current scenario?
Okay, so this statement does not apply to fleet carriers. So I'll be very clear on that. I will also be very clear on we're aware of the players' desires for fleet carrier social spaces, and that is all I will say on that matter.
Yeah, but it's exciting. It's a new thing. It's going to allow us to do some pretty cool stuff with our megaships and plop them in different positions and have you be able to hang out there. But that is all the stuff on the development update. So it's, as you said, it's a snapshot of what we're working on. We'll have more next month with the next one, and obviously, as I've said, update 7 itself should be coming in the next couple of weeks or so. So yeah, all exciting stuff.
Yeah, and again, I want to thank. First of all, I thank the community. I do it all the time. But I thank all the community for the consistent feedback that we've had since the launch of Odyssey, for sticking with us. I hope you can see that we're making significant strides to where we need to be. We know we're not there yet. We're not saying we are, and we're certainly not patting ourselves on the back, but we are saying we're moving in the right direction. We think you can see that, and we hope you can see that. And we'll continue to do it. We'll carry on pushing forward. We'll carry on listening. We'll carry on feeding that back. Change takes time. The simplest change that you might think is simple isn't always as simple as it might sound. There are subjects of the game or areas of the game that we are aware that are big issues for players. Just because we haven't mentioned it doesn't mean we're not looking at it. And we're always taking feedback. The team are very passionate about going into the forums and asking for stuff. And I think you'll see that a few groups have been approached about certain subjects. We're always listening. We're always compiling data, and we're always feeding it back. And trust me, the devs are always listening, and they care. So thank you foremost for that, and thank you if they are watching, they're probably working. But thank you to the devs for allowing us to rummage around in their files and folders and dig stuff out. And I keep badging, can we use this? Can we have that? Can we use this?
Yep.
But yeah, so thank you for that.
Yep. Aloysius Knight says, how's the calendar coming along? It's actually coming along pretty well, actually. Thanks for asking.
That's a good reminder, actually. I need to go poke something about that, but it is coming along very well.
Yeah,
it is. Yeah.
We'll have more to share. That's likely at the moment. That's looking to be in probably by the end of the year. But that's the current state. But it is looking good. It is working. Right. So in that case, then, should we move on to our community stuff? Obviously, if you see a question after that you want to obviously just answer it.
Yeah, I will do my best.
Right. Just give me 1 second while I sort of move into community mode. Right, I'm ready. I've just seen the username of this commander who's made this very, very cool diorama, which is actually, I mean, again, I don't even know where to begin. I guess you 3D print these, like you 3D print the Asp and you 3D print the other two ships and then the asteroids, and then you just stick it all on. But it's pretty impressive. The username is Harambe, come back, please. Which is
it could have been worse, Zach.
It could have been worse.
It could have been worse.
Yeah.
So just be grateful that it wasn't. But yeah, I like this a lot.
Yeah.
This, I don't know if anyone plays the X-Wing board game or tabletop game.
It's similar though. Yeah.
It reminds me of that. It does remind me of that.
Yeah. Kote Beates, all I wanted was Odyssey for console. So again, just to readdress that, at the minute we are focusing on the PC development. As soon as that changes, as soon as we have news for you, we'll let you know about console. But at the minute, that is the situation.
I just want to address something that was said in chat there. I wasn't being sarcastic about the garbage in the station. It's just a fact. In terms of what's higher on the list of priorities, that's not one of the highest lists. We will give the feedback, of course. But just to manage your own expectations, which I try to do as best I can, I doubt it will be one of the first things we look at in terms of what's going into Odyssey in terms of features, etc., etc. So please don't take that for anything other than me just being quite honest with you about where I see the priorities being with the game. What's next?
What's next? We have this from Commander. This is also a real username, Hand Soap Sombrero. And I believe they got this as a gift. This is an elite themed apron, which is very nice. No, I mean there's the ED.
I'm more impressed with the beard. The beard is
yeah, the beard is actually impressive.
That's a tier 1 beard.
Yeah. What is it? The baking club? Is it the ED Baking Club? This
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
would fit right in
It would fit right.
with
Yeah,
that
it's very impressive. I like the. I can't read what it says in there.
pest control. So maybe they're an expert
Maybe they're
Thargoid
missing
hunter.
the Thargoid heart
Yeah,
to see if we've got that right.
ED Baking Club. That's it. Says Osric. Nice. Okay. Next up, we have got some pretty stunning art from Helka X on Reddit. This is obviously a station interior, not an interior, but an exterior, and it's
Chat,
really cool.
to be clear, I've been wall to wall meetings, getting the update stuff prepped, as well as the rest of it. Actually, whilst we're on here, big shout out to Al for all the work he does behind the scenes. We haven't had Al on, but Al's the product manager for Elite Dangerous, and Al works tirelessly behind the scenes for this stuff. So big shout out to Al.
Yep.
So he's been doing a lot of work behind the scenes as well. But I've also not been able to look at any of this stuff that you're showing, and I love this. Is very much my jam.
Yeah.
Very much my jam. This is like 80s. It's also sort of cyberpunkish. It's neat. This is me. This is all me.
Very cool. You can find this on Reddit if you want. I believe there's a 16:9 version if you want a wallpaper of this. So yeah, head over to the Elite Dangerous subreddit for that. Okay. Next up, we've got a couple of PC setups which we usually like to talk about. Me and Sally like to talk about these, but I'm sure you're interested too, Arf.
Yeah, sure. Only if I don't get envy.
Oh, you'll definitely get envy from probably this one. I mean, that's 4 monitors, and they looks like 2 keyboards. I mean, to be fair, I have 2 keyboards and 2 just because of the nature of my job. But I'm not sure what the setup is, but yeah, 2 mice.
Is it not just 2 PCs?
It's probably just 2 PCs, right?
It's 1 PC with 3 monitors and then a second PC.
Yeah,
surely.
I reckon that's the case.
Surely that's the case.
Well, that is some setup.
But I do appreciate you counting the monitors for me there, Zach.
Oh, you're welcome.
Chat always looks after me because I'm a bit older. So he goes, look, there's 4 monitors there, Arthur. And I'm like, oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Zach's always very kind to me. So I appreciate it.
You're welcome. That one's from Serial Grey on Reddit.
It's a very cool setup. I like the backlight as well.
Yeah, he says the upper screen is for Inara or a good sci-fi film, which is a great idea.
Yes.
Okay, another one. This one's different, but it's featuring a vertical monitor. What are your thoughts on the whole vertical monitor trend?
Well, my thoughts first and foremost go to the desktop, and that makes me itch. Sort your icons out. That is not acceptable. Shout out to the X52 Pro HOTAS, but I can't. That icons make me itch. Folders, compact them. Do something with them. I don't even like that, please. But vertical monitors are great for reading chat and stuff like that. I've never really had them, to be honest. Well, I think that if you're doing streaming, it's probably super useful. I'm sure some of our streamers that are in chat will attest to that. But is one enough?
Is it? That's
the question. Ultra wide monitor.
It is a wide one.
Probably is. Yeah.
Oh, nice setup.
Nice setup. Yeah.
Okay. Next up, this was featured in Commander Creations last week. It's pretty stunning. This is from RKMK on Reddit, and it's an asp in front of probably a planet, but it is just
it's that color scheme again, mate. Like, it's that color scheme again.
Yeah,
all over that.
It works every time.
All over that. Nice. Someone's just put their biglet just said, "Oh, I've missed it." Oh, it's like was it side monitors or the side scoopers? Oh, I've missed it.
I saw it. Somebody talking about side scoopers.
Yeah, I think it was Piglet. I'm not sure. Okay. Yeah, but I'm a big fan of this. Yep. Is it chalk? Is it a chalk drawing?
No, it's done on, I believe, a program called Heavy Paint, I think.
Okay.
But maybe it does that effect. I've not really looked into the program, but it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Okay, next up, this is a copper wireframe Coriolis by Commander The Only One Akira. It's a nice little decoration that you could put in your sort of games room or your office.
That's very cool.
I don't know how you even begin to make something like that, to be honest, but it's pretty nice.
I'm trying to work out how the mail slot is.
It looks like there's if you can just about see, there's a copper line that goes up the middle underneath it.
Okay, yes, yeah. It's very. I didn't pick that out at first, but yes, no, big shout out to that. That's
very nice.
Very well done.
Tex Asp 8 says Christmas tree decoration. That's true. So does Tiger Star. Yeah, that would be.
Oh wow, yeah.
Okay, and last but not least on the sort of creations we've got a pretty nice painting done by Rayton Hughes' girlfriend, who made this painting for them. Obviously with a nice quote, and they got the. I think that's a
that's cool.
crate. I think that's a crate Phantom. Oh no, a crate Mark II with Neutron in the background, but very nice.
Yeah, that's very, very cool. Yeah. And I like the I will not even attempt to Konstantin.
Tsiolkovsky is what I'm gonna go for.
Sounds like someone who's very smart.
Yeah,
that's a smart person's surname, isn't it? 100%.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, very nice. As always, we love to see that. So, last but not least today, Arth, we've got some stellar screenshots, which is always nice to
I
see.
like stellar screenshots.
Very
I don't know
much
why I
so.
say it like Ron Burgundy then. I like stellar screenshots. I love Scotch. Scotch. Sorry.
That's all right.
I do like Scotch, actually.
It's a nice drink. Okay, so stellar screenshots. If you don't know,
sorry, mate, go on.
If you don't know, stellar screenshots are weekly photography competition where you can submit your in-game photography to the forums or to Twitter using the hashtag stellar screenshots or Facebook under the latest stellar screenshots post. And the top 10 get picked every week. And if you are one of the lucky winners, you'll be gifted a unique paint job for the Asp Explorer. So it's well worth submitting your images if you haven't done before. But we've got some pretty nice ones as usual, Arth, this week. It's fair to say.
I love this one. This is Bruce taught me this is a spiky boy.
Yeah, it's a spike. That's the official name, yeah. Spiky boy.
But I love that it's so emerald green.
Yeah, I've not seen one like that before personally. It's very nice.
Neither have I. Looks really nice. It's very festive. Probably a little bit too early to be festive, although I do love Christmas, so like I'm not going to be upset if there's Christmassy type shots. So, but yeah, it's a lovely screenshot of the spiky boys in an ice ring.
Yeah. And as always, chat, Sally likes to leave little notes on these images. The note she left for this one was asteroids look like popcorn, which is true.
I can see it now.
Yeah.
Now you said it, I can see it. Yeah, they do.
Very nice. Okay, next one. This one's Commander Coddy Wampler.
Sorry, I've just seen a comment in the chat from our very own Paul saying, "I too celebrate the holiday season with spikes." Of course you do. Of course you do, Paul. And I won't ask you what you put on the spikes.
This is a pretty phenomenal planet next to another planet. I mean, the rings on that, there's so many of them. And then you can just about, I don't know if it's clear on stream, their commander is right in the distance there as well. That's a really nice.
Can we identify the ship?
Looks like a crate. Because of the sort of arms sticking out on the left.
Why is no one using the chieftain? I'm getting very upset with this.
It's my influence, I'm spreading the crate.
Crate. Chieftain. But all right, yeah. It's a cool shot. Very cool shot like this.
Yep. Very nice. Okay, next up, this one's from Commander Dimitri Nick. Really cool sort of racing vibe. We get there's a Mamba there in the shot. This is a Mustafa vibe.
That's really cool.
Very, very dark side. Very, Yeah,
I like this. You've got me thinking Star Wars, but it just reminds me of the bit out of is it the second one, Attack of the Clones, where they jump into the taxi ride and stuff like that. It looks like a top-down view.
Yeah.
But a good shot. I'm not trying to work out what he's flying over.
No idea. It looks like a big heat sink, but I'm not sure what is big enough to have. Chat might know.
Yeah, chat might know. But yeah, Mamba doing Mamba things.
Yeah, you got a lot of people in the chat now saying Chieftain doesn't make the best explorer. The crate is great.
It doesn't matter, all right? It's irrelevant. It's not the best of anything. It's the best ship. That's it. I won't have anything said about it.
Very Blade Runner, says Zap said. That's true, actually. I can see that.
Very, very true, yeah.
Nice. Quick Climb says, Chieftain, what about the Crusader or Challenger? What is your feelings on that, Arth?
Do you know what? I'm quite fond of the Crusader because we use that quite a bit. The Crusader is very much... I don't dislike them, but there's something about the Chieftain that for me is just like, it's like the Goldilocks. One's too hot, one's too cold, and the one in the middle is just perfect. That's what the Chieftain is for me. Yeah. Chieftain is just the perfect meld of all those three ships together. So that's why I love the Chieftain.
Makes sense. Okay, next up, this one's from Commander John Thomason. This is a not very ominous photo they've got there. It looks like an ammonia world in the background as well. And then obviously the damaged
parking at a station, or was it a mega ship?
I believe it's a mega ship.
Mega ship
sure
next
to
to
chat actually might know where this is, to be fair.
Oh, I think I know which one this is, but yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah. Very nice shot.
Okay, next up, this one's from Commander Mr. McDougal, which is a great name. Got a nice horizon shot. Nice. Oh yeah, the nice luminescent biologicals you've got there in the foreground as well. Very nice.
This looks really cool. They're like space fungus,
Indeed.
but that's
Yeah.
very nice. I also like the way they illuminate. There's a lot of really cool stuff going into the artwork of the biologicals and planet services, and I really like this shot of the galaxy at that angle. It's
Yeah.
really nice. Really cool shot.
Yeah. I think we talked about this on the last stream. What is it called? The galactic plane? Is that what we decided it was
Yes.
called?
Yes, I think that's correct. Chat will tell us if we're not. But I think that's correct. Spungus. Space fungus is now spungus. So, I'm not sure it'll take. I almost said I'm not sure it'll stick, but that could go a whole other road. So let's keep moving on. Right, this is cool.
This is really cool. We've got a lot of different sort of colours popping off in this one. You got obviously the mining in the foreground, then you've got the really bright star in the back with the solar flare that's happening. Pretty nice.
Yeah, there's loads of cool stuff going on. Also, the pink lighting on the asteroid as it's being mined. I believe it's being mined. That limpet's coming out.
Yes, it does look like some limpets there.
So I'm guessing it's surface mining here, right? That's why we've got the
looks like it.
The pink hue, because I don't think you'd get that otherwise, would you?
Nope. Looks
No.
like there's a bit of surface mining. Very nice. Okay, next up, this one's from Commander Suze 4, I'm gonna guess. This is another staple that Paul likes to pick out every now and again. It's a Thargoid doing a bit of a it's a Thargoid doing a bit of an investigation. Who knows what's about to happen, but great shot as always. Very atmospheric.
Yeah, it's a very cool shot. It's very much like a movie poster from the sort of late 90s of like fire in the sky and stuff like that. So you expect to see some person at the bottom just staring up at the green beam. I'm sure the Thargoid is just, investigating all this talk about Thargoid hearts being no longer invincible.
Yeah.
just checking in to be like, what's that you say?
My one strength has now been foiled after all these years.
Yeah. So we'll see, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Okay, next up, this one's from Commander Toledo. Looks like an anaconda. It's just emerging. I'm going to be completely honest. I have no idea where this is or what this commander is in. Chat.
It's definitely a conda. It's definitely
I believe it's. But where are they? Is it a space station? Is it a station?
That's not. No.
It's an installation, apparently. It says.
Okay. That's cool.
Button orbital says shatter mage with a kappa. Yeah, some kind of installation. Very nice. Yeah, like cool. The CQC ones. Yeah.
But it's almost like a shock.
It is.
Out of the
Yeah. Very nice. Okay, not last but not least, penultimately.
I said, so Dominja says that like an anaconda reminds me of one of the eels that hide in the reefs and rocks. Yeah, that's a good. It's a really good. Yeah,
that's true. This one's from Commander X. They've got a big.
I love this screenshot.
There's a lot going on in the front, and then they've captured it with the really bright star in the background. The shadow effect is really nice.
I really love this shot. It's so cool. It's so ominous. Weapons deployed, hard points deployed. Looks like as well.
Yep.
Yeah, this is a cool shot.
Yep. Something exploded. Says Girl Scout 88. It's very true. Okay.
Yeah. Very cool. Like that one.
Yep. Last but not least, this one's from Commander Zerix. Sally captioned this one. Space is big. I believe that's a pretty good caption for this one, to be fair.
Accurate as well. I think you'll find it's accurate, scientifically proven to be big.
Yes. But this is a stunning shot as well. I mean, the way that they've found the little point in the terrain that they can stand on with a little hill to make them stand out. It's really, really well done.
It's really cool. It's really, really cool. And it's either a star rise or a star set, whichever way you want to look at it. But really nice. And again, big shout out for the new layout of the logo and stuff from Paul. So we can see more of the image. These look so nice. But it's a really cool shot. Well done, Zerix. It's a nice shot.
Nice. So well done everybody who entered. As we always say, if you didn't get featured this week, please do try again next week. We love seeing your images every week.
Sally said she was tired at that point. I thought as a direct quote from Neil deGrasse Tyson, if I'm honest. I'm
Oh,
sure I've seen that
that's
one.
exactly what it was.
I'm sure that's the foreword in his book. Just read "Space, it's big," and then that's the entirety of his book. It's like that's all you need to know. It's accurate. It's factual. That's what you need. Don't sweat it, Sally. It's accurate.
Don't need to complicate things. Okay, the Namek says, but is space bigger than the patch notes that you have to write soon, Sally?
Doubtful.
Yeah, that's probably not.
Doubtful.
Okay, well, that is all we've got for you today. I guess as a recap, we went over the development update that went live today. If you've not seen that yet, ! Dev update in the chat on Twitch. We'll get that for you. If you're on YouTube, just head over to our news and bulletins section of the forums, and you'll find that. We talked about all the new things. Well, firstly, the things that we were addressing in terms of issues, and then the things that are coming in Update 7 and potentially in the future. Then we obviously went into some community bits and stellar screenshots. So yeah, it's been a good show. Arf, anything you want to sign off on today? Any more comments?
Just I say the usual, but it's generally meant like please take time to read through the patch notes. Update 7 will deploy within the next 2 weeks. We said by mid-September, and we're looking at doing a quality of life update patch for console owners and non-Odyssey owners. So there'll be some patch notes for that to follow. Please also remember when you read through this stuff, this is just a snapshot of the things we're working on. Some things will change. Some things aren't even in there yet. So there are some surprises we do want to keep from you because that is, we've got to have some fun. So we'll be doing that. I see some questions in here about stuff about narrative. Something I could probably share a little bit about in terms of narrative, that we're working very closely with the writing team at the moment. We're having a lot of meetings around what comes next, and I'm very excited because we've got an outline. So I'm very, very excited. So, but in terms of answering specific questions on narrative, which I've seen in chat, I won't because it will spoil some stuff. I'm really pleased to see the way players have reacted to Hyford's Cache and stuff like that. So there's lots of stuff going on, not just technically with the game, but also narrative with the game. The stuff we're working on at the moment. I'm forever thankful for the community. I had the utmost respect for you for the continued support and feedback. I have the utmost respect and love for my team for all the hard work that they do. So that's it, really. Just a lot of love getting flung around.
Lots of love. That's all good.
A lot of love. So thank you for joining us today. And we've made that almost exactly an hour, Zach.
Very nicely done. Very nicely done. Right. Well, in that case, I will sign us off for the day. So we'll be back on, what day is it? We'll be back on Thursday.
I'm back on.
Oh Thursday. Yeah, Arthur's back on Thursday with a nice Xbox stream.
I am. I haven't worked out what I'm doing yet.
Oh, that's fine.
So I don't know. I need to work that out because I haven't had any. I really had that much time to play many games. So I need to log into my Xbox account and find out what I'm doing. So I'll work something out, chat. It'll be a pretty chill stream. I've had a very busy few weeks, so it'll be a pretty chill stream. I'm not going to do anything massive. If you have any ideas or something you want me to do, I'll do it. Probably won't. No more fancy dress. I can't. I was so sweaty by the end of that day. So yeah, anything you want me to do in particular, if there's any thoughts, please drop me a line or just drop it in chat or something, and I'll try and get it done for Thursday. Nice. Streaming from my living room.
Yeah, very, very casual. Right, so in that case, I'll sign us off for the day. Please make sure to stick around just in case we find someone to raid. As always, be friendly, be kind to whoever we do raid. And until Thursday, we'll see you out in the Black Commanders 07.
07 all.